stop the fan because although it's very hot, it's quite noisy and I haven't got my mic. So welcome to my live stream. Today is Wednesday, the 27th of May. It's 6 p.m. UK time. And for those who don't know me, I'm a therapist and coach, and I come here to talk about mental health, therapy, and psychology. Now, very important disclaimer. I am not giving you professional advice throughout the live streams. I'm only here to have a discussion within the capacity of that platform. So what it means is that it's not professional because I don't know you, because I need to see the person, to be fully invested and connected to that person and know about their history before I can give them some professional advice. So this is not professional advice. This is me as a content creator, as a person, as a human being, doing my best to decipher some information from your comments and out of that, do some suggestions. Um, and so, with that in mind, if you have any questions, if you'd like to ask me about anything at all, anxiety, depression, addiction, anger issues, self-sabotage, procrastination, anything at all, just ask me and I will do my best to give you some suggestions that hopefully you can take action on and can maybe change some aspect of your life. Let me check that the volume is high enough. If there's anyone watching, could you please let me know if you can hear me well? I stopped using my mic for the live streams for the time being because I've been through some technical difficulties. But no, so far it seems to work. And so I will stay here for as long as required, up till 8 p.m. UK time. But if it's really quiet, and it may be quiet because it's so hot at the moment in the UK, then I will go and enjoy summer myself outside. So let me have a look at my notes. I generally start my live streams by sharing some of my thoughts. But let's see, we have Genji. Hello Didi, how are you today? I'm very well. How about you? How have you been doing over the last weekend and the start of this week? Is there anything you'd like to talk about? Dawn, hi Didi, I can hear you. Fantastic, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to start by reading and commenting on some of the posts that I've created today. Just one maybe. You will notice on my channel that instead of posting 3 videos a day, I will only post 1. But I want to do them longer. I want basically to make them better quality instead of just having shorts. I think it's time for me to share more information. For those who've been following me for a little while, they may find it more useful. So the first one that I came up with is about how to create change in your life. The title is Everything is Hard Until It Gets Easier. So basically I talk about the 4 stages of learning and how we can use that protocol to address any process of change in our life. The first stage of learning is called unconscious incompetence. In that stage, we don't know that we don't know something, so no problem, easy. The second stage is conscious incompetence. And that's when we realize that there's something that we want to learn about, something we want to change, something we want to upgrade about our life. So now we have a focus about something new, and if we don't do anything about it, it can be quite an uncomfortable place to be because we have an awareness that there's something important that we haven't got yet in our life. But thankfully, there is stage 3, which is conscious competence. And that's why we're going to learn how to develop a new skill. We have chosen, we have decided, we have wanted to do that thing. This is important to us, and we want to incorporate, acquire that new skill. So we're going to focus on doing this, and eventually that will lead us to stage 4, when this has become a habit, and it is called unconscious competence. Now, we have absorbed that skill so that we don't need to think about it. It is automatic and subconscious. And the most important thing is that it's simple and it's easy. And the very important thing about that protocol is that if we can remember that that process applies with everything that we do in our life, things are much easier. Everything that you do has come from that process. There was an instance where you didn't know about something and then you knew about it and then you decided, you've chosen to do something about it, and then you invested your time, effort, intent, and focus in developing that skill, it eventually became easy and simple, and you forgot about it, and you then take it for granted now. So the example I give is walking, for instance. Walking is a process that repeats, that needs a lot of repetition and focus and effort. When you're a baby, you don't learn how to walk overnight. You learn to stand up and you fall back on your face, and it happens again and again. But if you focus on falling on your face, you're not going to do this. And so what you do, you just focus on getting back up. And eventually, over time, you know how to walk, and it has become automatic and easy. It's the same thing with talking. Talking is a very complex skill that requires understanding sounds and learning how to pronounce them and associating meanings to them and putting them together. But over a long period of time, you never thought, it's hard, I don't want to do this. You just went for it because you wanted to do this. You have chosen to do this and you did it. And now you can talk. And it's simple and easy, even though it's a very, very complex process to learn. And this goes on with everything in your life: brushing your teeth, having a shower, riding a bicycle, using your phone, your computer, social media, whatever that you do automatically that is easy for you now came through all those stages. There was a time when you didn't know about it, and then you knew about it, and then you chosen to make this happen in your life, to bring it inside of your existence, and yeah, then you acquired it, you become it, and now you just do it, and it's easy. And the reason why some people struggle with change is because they only focus on stage number 3. Forget that the whole of it is for everything. So at some point it will become easier. But also because with stage number 3 is a negative association. There's the belief that in order for us to change, heal, or grow, we must come out of our comfort zone. It has to come at the price of hardship or sacrifice of some sort. And it's not true at all. Sometimes we come out of the comfort zone, sometimes we don't. But it's not a prerequisite, it's not a necessity. It is a correlation, not a causation. And it's very important to highlight because there are some people who can't deal with the idea of coming out of a comfort zone. If you are neurodivergent, like me, if you have some unhealed trauma, unhealed wounds, if you are hypersensitive to life, like so many of us, the mere idea of coming out of your comfort zone is impossibly scary. It's terrifying. And so our mind is going to create a system to prevent us from even getting started, to protect us from that danger. And so what it means is that we need to find a way to disarm the pressure that comes from the idea of coming out of our comfort zone. And we can do this by creating a system that is designed and structured on baby steps. That's it. If you can create a system with 10 little baby steps that are easy and simple for you, that are manageable, that are comfortable relatively, then that's all that you need to do. You don't want to think about the outcomes, just focus on the baby steps, and then we get you started. And at some point, you will even experience some moments of acceleration, but you don't want to think about them. It's happening. And then, as you do that, now you are studying something. And eventually, just like with everything else in your life, you would have acquired a new skill that would have become something simple and easy and automatic for you, whatever that it is. There's nothing that you want to learn that you can't learn. There's nothing that you want to change that you can't change. There's nothing that you want to upgrade that you can't upgrade. There's nothing that you want to heal from that you can't heal from eventually over time. All the tools are there. We just need to keep looking until we find those things, baby steps, and we apply them again, baby steps, until something happens. And we are ready for the next thing. It's a process that we repeat for all the other things in our life. Because life is the process of constantly expanding and growing. And so this is what we do with everything. And so if you can remind yourself that this is how everything goes, it's much easier to address change. You don't need to feel the pressure. You don't need to suffer from the self-sabotage, the procrastination, all of the systems that are preventing you to get started. Because now you have disarmed the pressure. You have created the baby steps. And of course, it's going to take some time because it's baby steps. However, it is better to create something over a long period of time than to put yourself under so much pressure but you don't even get a chance to get started. And so that's it. I hope that some of you can use this I've just recorded this today. I will edit it. It will probably come out at some point next week on my YouTube channel. And basically, each video that I want to do from now on are going to be a little bit longer. They're going to be a bit more about teaching something, different perspective or a different system, so that you can use it to expand your quality of life. Okay, now I'm going to read the comments, and if you have any questions, keep going at it, and I will do my best to answer all of them. Genji, I'm doing good, I think. A bit tired and scattered brain today, but I did get to enjoy some nature this morning on my walk. Fantastic, good on you. At the moment, I don't know where you are, but in London, in the UK, it's glorious. It's a heat wave, so it's quite difficult indoors. Today I'm lucky, but sometimes it can be like yesterday. The whole building was suffocating because it was so hot. However, outside, glorious, fantastic, happy vibes. Everyone is positive and enjoying summer. We're having a heat wave in London at the moment. Dawn, I will be listening. I'm not feeling great today. Stress and situation. I'm sorry to hear. And let's hope that I can maybe inspire you somehow through whatever we talk about today. Chiki, hello. Dawn Woodland, the heat has trained a lot of people. It has indeed. It can be difficult. It affects our sleep. And for people who are neurodivergent, that can be actually a very oppressive, overwhelming situation to deal with, because now all of the senses are all over the place. We're feeling uncomfortable, it's hot, we're dreaming, it's affecting the way we sleep, it's affecting the way we think. It has affected me yesterday. I had some interviews, some calls, and it has affected my own ability to think and to express myself. So it happens. We need to do our best to remind ourselves to drink a lot of water and to make ourselves as comfortable physically as possible. Whatever we feel in our body, any physical sensations affect our mental and emotional state directly. So this is very important to realize. Genchi, my environment is stressing me out a bit. I've been trying to do things to help myself think more clearly by cleaning my environment. But I lack the motivation. Everything feels like such a task. Okay. Remember what I just talked about? Baby steps. You feel that you need more motivation because you're not getting the results that you want. And you're not getting the result that you want because you are not looking at the baby steps. You're looking at the result, the outcome, the projection. And this is what is holding you back. Just focus on the baby steps and just do them. Do whatever you can. Have breaks if needed. Get back to it if you feel like getting back to it. Just baby steps. That's all you need. If you can incorporate and focus on the baby steps, then you will let go of the pressure, the shame, the guilt, why is it not there yet? Everything feels like such a task because you're thinking about it. If you do things one baby step at a time, nothing is hard. Nothing feels like such a task because you're busy using your mind to do that thing instead of thinking about it. I did the same just before the live streams. I did something that I was meant to do a long time ago. I've sorted my clothes. So it took me half an hour. It's all over the place. Like a lot of people who know the version, I have a chair. But not just a chair. I have cupboards that are all open and it's a gigantic cascade, a waterfall of clothes. And basically, I always trust myself in the same way because I just grab whatever is in front of me and it's always the same things that are just being watched. There are a lot of things at the back that I have forgotten they even existed. And so after a long, long time, I decided to do this today. I didn't know if I was going to be able to finish it, but I decided just to get started and see what happened. Eventually, just by doing it, now it's done, and I'm happy about this. But if I just looked at it, and this is what I've done for a month, then nothing has moved for a month because I was just staring at it instead of applying the baby steps. Jiki, I don't know, how are you? I'm well. How about you? Genji, I think that people tend to be happier when it is nice outside, but I feel like it can bring a lot of rage out of people because they are uncomfortable with the treatment. So it depends. So this is, you're right. Some people, at some moment, will enjoy this. Some other people, in some other moment, will not enjoy it. It's the truth with everything. Nothing is just this or that. And so the beautiful thing about summer is that there's a change. So we can notice something changing. And if we are positive, we'll focus on the positivity that is born from that change. We see everyone smiling, flirting with each other, um, and being happy generally. But if we're overwhelmed, now we begin to notice all the bad stuff. So we want to do our best to be aware of those two things. We want to take some actions to prevent any situation so that we can enjoy and make the most of that weather. And then we want to focus on the good stuff that is born from that good weather. But there's never any this or that situation. Uh, Everything exists, everything is true, everything happens always at the same time, constantly, continuously, and inevitably. And it's just about where we're going to put our attention on, what we're going to prioritize, what we're going to do about the next step to make sure that we learn from what has happened to us in this moment. Thank you for your hearts. Genshi, oh yes, I have a mountain of shame every time I look anywhere and see the mess I need to deal with at some point. But most of the time, I just shut the door and forget. Okay, so there you go. So if that's what you do, it's okay. Maybe that's all that you can do at that moment. Maybe you have other priorities, but to deal with your clothes. Like me, it was there for months because I had other priorities. My mind was doing some other things. I didn't have shame because I've worked on myself long enough now to accept that whatever I choose on to do or not to do is my choice. So because I've chosen, I was aware there's a mountain, I want to do this. But if I'm not doing it, it's because I understand that my mind has other priorities. So it's okay. I will get there when everything is aligned for me to do that thing. And this happened today. And you want to do the same. There's no need for shame. Shame is the idea that there's something wrong about you because this is not happening. Instead, replace it with my subconscious mind has other priorities, and that's why it's not happening. It's not because I'm not good enough. It's not because I'm lazy or good for nothing or whatever that you may think about yourself. It's only because you have other priorities in your mind. So acknowledge this, accept it, and tell yourself, pat yourself in the back. It's okay. I've got other things to worry about. I've got other things to address. I've got other things to take care of. At some point, when this is important to me, I will do the thing. Dawn, yes, our homes are not built for this. We need aircon, indeed. Um, yeah, we do. um, and here's me drinking hot coffee, even though it's quite hot. Again, for those who didn't see me at the start, I switched off the fan because it was quite loud. So if I drip, I will put it back. But hopefully, I'll be okay because I want you to be able to hear me clearly. Genji, yes, it feels like I have too much on my plate, and every time I think about starting, I end up sitting on the floor from overwhelm. I also don't have anyone breathing down my neck to do it. You don't need anyone to breathe down on your neck to do it. You do it when you are ready for it, when it's easy for you, when you don't need to think about it. It's there. It's your path of least resistance. You are finally aligned with all the conditions required for you to make this thing happen. Um, you have too much on your plate because you think about it. Again, we all have a lot of things on our plate, but we only suffer from that if we think about it. So you can learn how to not think about it by choosing to think about something else. We talked about it often. Instead of thinking, you are trapped in your thought, and as long as you're thinking about your life, you are still kind of reacting to it, confirming it, repeating it. Um, when we think, we are on subconscious automatic pilot because the thoughts that we have are part of the program. Um, when you stop thinking and you start to observe instead, through the practice of mindfulness, this is where you can access free will and upgrade the program. And since your program is about suffering and shame and self-loathing, that's why when you think not only you're not able to do things, but also you feel terrible about yourself. And so mindfulness, practice mindfulness. Whenever you feel bad, remind yourself there's something that I can do. I can, through baby steps, learn about how to apply some element of mindfulness in my life right here and now so I can feel better about myself. Just that. Easy. Linda Medero can't hear you. Oh wow. But don't tell me that she could. So because I don't know you, I'm going to trust Dawn at this point in time. Okay. I understand that there are all sorts of people on the internet who are interacting with people for some different reasons. Guys, could you please confirm that you can hear me? And I'm going to remember Leandra Medeiros. If you can't hear me, maybe it's your device. Or maybe it's the place that you are is too noisy. I'm not sure. But I did ask someone that I know and who told me that they could hear me. So there's that. Dawn, I used to do so trained to be, I guess, to be so trained from work. I didn't have much energy left and work had to come first. Okay. Yes, very often we are conditioned to survive, and so work comes first. Do you want to give me more details about what you are trying to tell me about, please? Genji, so it's okay to leave it how it is. Yes, I'm not about human for living like this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We don't have to do anything at all. We do things when we are ready to do them, especially if we are neurodivergent. If we have some baggage, some conditions, it's going to be much harder for us to do all those things that everyone take for granted and think is normal. When we're depressed, even washing ourselves, getting out of bed can seem impossibly hard. And so we don't want to compare ourselves with the normality. We want to do whatever we can. Again, I got some friends who are neurodivergent, and uh, their home can be quite messy at times. But it's okay because they understand that they are addressing their priorities. So when upgrading the state of their home matters, then we take an action on that. But as far as the mind is concerned, there are other priorities. So do whatever you can and follow how you feel, follow your intuition, and take it one step at a time. But let go of the element of guilt and shame. We have nothing to prove to anyone. We don't have to do anything at all. As long as you can function. If you can't function, then we can talk about it. It's a whole different conversation. If you have a chair full of clothes, it's not a big deal. Now, if your partner, if your husband tells you, yeah, but this is messy, tell him, teach him, get him to understand that you're not doing it on purpose. You're not doing it because you are lazy. You're not doing it because you are taking advantage of him so that he is cleaning everything. Some of us, we generally can't do this. We're all over the place, and we must accept this about ourselves, and we must get people to accept this about ourselves too. Now it's possible to learn how to change things gradually, little by little, but it's going to be gradual. It's going to take some time, and yeah. In relationship with anyone who has baggage, we want to make sure that we don't expect people to behave in ways that we are not designed to behave like. Some of us, many of us, our brain is totally different. And so, again, the myth of normality is hurting so many of us. It creates shame, guilt, pressure, right? A bad human is terrible. To whoever told you that were terrible people. They didn't realize it, but as a person, they were toxic to you because they said something like that. You're a terrible human being because you're messy. No. Um, anyway, Genji, at some point I will deal with it. It stresses me out. I just can't do it without pressure or the motivation. Don't do it, man. Leave it. At some point, you'll be so sick of it. At some point, you won't be able to move in your flat because it's going to be everywhere. That's when you will get the motivation and the drive to do it. And it's going to be easy. You're going to spend 2 hours just doing this like a maniac. But then you'll be happy because you will have it done. Right? Uh, Dawn, no one has much energy, especially in this heat. It's true. It's true. Uh, Everyone is walking in slow mo, and if you've traveled, you would have noticed that people who live in the south walk slower than people who live in the north. It's much more relaxed, and it's because when you're hot, you want to economize your energy, otherwise you overheat. Um, so even everyone's gait is different. Genji, I just turned you up. I hear you fine. Thank you so much, Genji. So I knew it. Leandra Medeiros. Maybe you want to find out about your device or maybe your environment. Okay. Genji, this is a good point, Dawn. I will blame it on the heat. It's not about blaming it on something, it's about understanding it. You want to replace blaming and judging with understanding. But I understand what you mean. If it makes you feel better, that's all that matters. Genshi, I just know that if my mother saw, there would be a lot of judgment. Of course, but it doesn't matter because your mother doesn't see. Only you sees, and maybe your husband. And so make sure that your husband gets you. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of hurt unnecessary for you to experience every day. Dawn, I used to do a very demanding job in a supermarket, 20,000 steps a day, like an 8-mile walk, and 30 hours a week. Okay? Genji, this is 100% true. I've done the manic cleaning before from just saying F it and fixing everything all at once. Yes. And so it happens when it happens anyway. It's not a matter of life or death. It's just clothes. You know, nothing's gonna happen if you leave a pile of clothes on your chair for a little longer, right? Dawn, and my ex took early retirement and won't do anything around the home and was always out putting his energy into that. So there are all sort of reasons. I don't know what your ex was. Some people, they do it on purpose. Some people, they take advantage of others. It's true. But many other people, they look like they do, but they don't. It's just that they can't. I, for instance, I'm one of them. I'm very messy because I'm neurodivergent. And my husband is autistic and he's very, very organized. He's the opposite. So at the start of our relationship, he was always mad at me. He really believed that I was taking advantage of him because he would always clean up after me and everything. And I will keep on telling him I would clean it, but only when it's too much. Uh, but of course, this would never happen because he is very, very, very. It's important for him that everything is in order, being autistic. And so at the start of a relationship for a long time, we were always clashing. He always believed that I was taking advantage of him, even with his friends. His friends would tell him, "Yeah, he's one of them. He's just lying to you. He's just lazy. He doesn't want to do anything." It's not true. I genuinely want to, but I can't. Um, my brain is scattered, it's all over the place. Um, and so now, over time, we have understood that and we've come to some sort of systems. I have learned how to do some things. So I was talking about this last time. There are things that I do, and they're the only things that I do, and I enjoy doing them. It took me a while to implement the systems into my routine. So basically, I wash the dishes, I do the bins, I do the recycling, and that's it. That's what I do. But I do those things regularly, and it's my contribution, and it's something that makes him happy because he can see that I'm doing something regularly, and it matters to me, and I take the time to do this because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't. Uh, I would leave it until there's no cutlery or crockery to use, and then I would have to use it. I would have to wash it out of necessity. Uh, but actually, do it every day now. For a while, I've been doing it because I want to show him that I'm doing something, um, but I'm trying my best to change as much as I can. And so, yes, it's important to be able to tell the difference between those who do take advantage and those who can't because they are not advantage. Um, I wouldn't know which one is which in regards to your ex, Dawn, to your husband. No, your ex, your ex. Genshi, my husband and I are on the same page. Only things he needs is clean clothes, and he will help too if I ask. Good. Good on you. Genshi, I'm making myself sound like a dirty person. I have clean clothes and dishes, just not my environment. But even if you're dirty, it doesn't matter. I'm not judging you. Um, and I'm sure that you're fine anyway, whatever that you do or don't do. Don't. Me too. I always used to have clean clothes, etc. Pumpkin Puff. Hi Didi, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling great today. Thank you for asking. How about yourself? Yesterday was very overwhelming for me. Again, the heat wave in the UK, in London, uh, is quite powerful. So it affected the way I thought, the way I spoke. But today, I'm back to normal. And yeah, life is good. Wilma said hi. Hello, Wilma. Genji, I know you are not judging me. I just wanted to clarify. I fear judgment from others. I'm sure that people are not judging you. And if they do, it doesn't matter. Um, Let them think and judge. So this is something that you want to work on. You want to realize that most people that you are worried about the opinions of you, they're not even thinking about you. And and there may be some people who think badly of you, but they are very minimal. And there's not a lot of them. And those people, they don't matter. There will always be some people who dislike you. There will always be some people who disagree with you, some people who don't like you, who want to attack you, who get irritated just knowing that you exist. And it's okay. It's the way it goes. What you want to do is to create a space between you and these people. And then everyone else, you know what? They're so preoccupied worrying about what others think of them that they're not thinking about you, really. We're all humans, we all do the same thing. And so remind yourself, most people don't think about you. And those who do think ill of you, they don't matter. They're only projecting their own hurt, their own insecurities, their own wounds on others. It's kind of thing to do with you. Accept that there will always be people who dislike you, and it's okay. I have accepted it a while ago myself, and it's such a big burden out of my shoulder. Now we don't need to take responsibility for everyone's opinions, judgments, or preferences. It's freedom. It feels amazing once you don't give an F by whatever others think of you. You know that the right people will follow along, and those who don't may attack you, but you can create a space between you and them, set some boundaries, block them, ignore them, move away, and eventually resume your journey with the right people. Being a content creator, I attract a lot of people, and sometimes with my comments, or even on my live streams, I have hurt people um, who share the most obnoxious and nasty comments. But I get it. And so I just block them, I get rid of them, I ignore them, I try to talk to them, and eventually, if it doesn't work, I move away, but it doesn't annoy me because I understand it doesn't mean anything to me. I see humans who are hurt and who need some help, and I suggest my help, and if it doesn't connect because we're too far apart, it's okay. I leave it to the universe. I trust the universe to do its job and to look after all of us in its own way, and it's got nothing to do with us. Um, Dawn. Some men, when are with a woman, treat her like she's their mother, want he to do everything for them, not all but some. It's true. And that is not because of men, but it's because of the patriarchy. So you're right. There's a lot of men who take advantage of you because they can. Because the patriarchy is telling people that women are at home. They clean everything, they're in the kitchen, they look after the kids. And men, they go out, they go in the pub, they socialize with their mates, they go to football, and they work, they bring the money back at home. And so, because of that, a lot of men and women are creating that reality. But what you want to realize is that if this happens, it's also because you're allowing this to happen. Very often, men within that context, the context of patriarchy, can be opportunist. So they will take the opportunity if you allow it. If from the get go you tell them we need to work together 50-50, if you are not neurodivergent, we need to work together. Very often it's true that women, they have to look after the kids, they have to clean the home, and they need to go to work. And men, they just need to go to work. And this is the old model, and we want to change this. So we want to challenge this, absolutely. And this is true, I agree with you. However, you are also in charge of it. And so when that happens is for you to tell them, okay, we're in 2026. um, and so we need to both do things together. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And sadly, very often when those situations occurs is also because, again, it takes two to tango. So what it means is that for someone to take advantage of you, there will be a part of you that will allow for that person to take advantage of you. Again, we're talking about narcissist, we're talking about trauma bond, and how we allow and invite and attract people in our lives because we fit the narrative that we have about ourselves. And so what I always say is that we don't suffer because of the bad people. We suffer because we allow them into our life. Now, it's not a conscious process, but if you can realize that at a subconscious level, we are allowing those people in our lives. That's when we need to upgrade our program so that it doesn't happen anymore, and that eventually we attract the right people. Or maybe we can train that husband, that guy, to change and to be a more decent human being, and to stop living with the mentality of Middle Age, medieval time, Victorian times, all the days. We are way past it now. Pumpkin Puff, I'm glad to hear you are good. I followed your advice. Okay, the universe gave me a turtle to save off the road. Fantastic. Okay, I'm not sure about how the turtle can come into play, but I love that. If you manage to save a turtle from the road, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I love turtles. I love all animals, and I'm glad that whatever we talked about, if it inspired you to do that, fantastic. Student said hi. Hello, student 2K. Pumpkin Puff. I felt so good after I got to help a creature. Yes, well done you. It is good, isn't it? Life is about learning how to reconnect with everything and everyone. And we tend to start life with the illusion of separation. It's us versus the world. There's the good guys and the bad guys. But in reality, if we can understand, again, instead of judging or blaming, now we can recognize in others what we have, what we are, instead of seeing what we don't like in ourselves. And so we can do things for them, do things together. And with animals, it's even easier because animals, uh, unless you are going to hurt them, they will most probably always be good to you, except for some rare exceptions, exceptional exceptions. So, yes, good on you, Pumpkin Puff. Thank you for the turtle. Genji, you are correct. I have concern for judgment. I think it's because I was bullied a lot when I was younger and under the eye of my parents who wanted me to be seen a certain way. Yes, so either or both. I believe that it's both. If you've been bullied and if your parents were harsh on you, that's why you have fear of judgment. You're not the only one. It's very, very common. However, because you have BPD, your experience of it is much more intense. Uh, it's much more of an obsession than for the vast majority of people. That is why there are labels and diagnoses. But yes, BPD is that. It's literally the fear of being judged, the fear of being rejected, the fear of not being loved, the fear of not being seen, the fear of not being enough. Dawn, I put a bee outside today and I felt better. It wasn't trapped or hurt. It's fantastic. Well done. Thank you, Dawn. Gosh, turtles, bees. Come on, guys. Yes. That's great. Thank you so much. It's lovely. This journey makes me happy. I believe that there's so much hurt. So many people are hurt that they only know how to hurt others or other things because that's all that they know. And I used to be like that myself. That's why I know that. But if we can help others, what it tells me, it also means that both of you guys are going in the better direction. You have something to give, and it was manifested into your actions. So the turtle, the bee, fantastic. Spiraxis said hi. Hello. Pumpkin Puff. Lol, if we train that husband. Down. Also, moms should teach their sons how to clean and do things for themselves, basic survival skills. A lot of things we should be doing, and hopefully the new generations will do this better than the previous ones. But I agree with you. There's so many things that needs to be changed. Again, patriarchy, capitalism, colonialism, racism, all of those isms, that problems in society, and they're all happening. They're all limiting us, and they're all conditioning us to live in shame, division, fear, judgment, blame, all those things. Um, and so I agree with you. But the main thing we want to do, and the easiest thing for us to do at this point in time, is to work on ourselves. Instead of worrying about what they should be doing or what we should be doing, I would suggest you can need to focus on what you can do by yourself. That's all that matters. I promise you that when you work on yourself, everything becomes easier and everything comes together eventually, naturally. But if we are focused on trying to just express our anger because things should be different, now we're not making the most of our energy and potential. Again, it's normal, it's human. So if you feel like now expressing yourself, do it. But then once you've done that, then remind yourself, now, what can I do about it? And what you can do about it is to work on yourself. Yes. Practice self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance, all of those things and more. Mindfulness. Pumpkin Puff, you told me on Friday if the roadkill bothered me to do something about it. Okay, I remember. Then that afternoon I saw a turtle trying to cross a busy road. Yes, I do remember. Fantastic. Thank you. Right then. This is amazing, isn't it? It's amazing how just a little conversation can make things happen. And this is the power of us people. Just a word, an energy, an intent can convey and transform and metamorphose into an action that is saving a turtle now. This is beautiful. That is what we can all do. I do this, but you can do this as well. Anyone who's watching, whatever that we put out there is going to influence everything and everyone else. And so if you can, remind yourself of it so that it inspires you to do something about yourself so you can basically radiate more good stuff as opposed to projecting bad stuff. Now, of course, it's a process, but this is the idea. You want to realize that whatever we are, we put out there, and whatever we put out there is going to reinforce our reality. And so pay attention to the things that you do, pay attention to how you interact with people, pay attention to the things that you say, pay attention to the things that you think about, um, and realize that everything is intertwined and interconnected. And so everything and everyone has an impact on everything and everyone else. It's like the butterfly and the hurricane. The flip of the wing of the butterfly in South America can eventually influence a hurricane on the other side of the planet. Um, so yeah, amazing. Thank you, Pumpkin Puff, for reminding me of this. Dawn, some just won't listen or be trained, sadly, no matter how you try. Yes, those people don't accept them. This is it. Some won't accept. And this is why you want to ask yourself, who do I deserve? Do I deserve someone who accepts it and who respects me and who cares about my feelings and my needs? Or do I accept someone who doesn't? This is where you are in power. This is where you can apply your own power. This is why you choose, okay, you know what? F him. There are a lot of other people out there. I will get the right one because I deserve it, because I want it. I'll be patient. I know that I deserve better than that. Or you can say to yourself, oh, he really doesn't want to learn. Oh, you know what? That's how it is. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. It's society, and now you're going to choose to suffer from a system that was designed to exploit you. But you have power. I want you to remember and to realize that you always have power, and this is the precise moment when you have that power. Choose better people. You deserve better. They exist. There are plenty of them. It's for you to allow them into your life. Does it help, Dawn? Honesty. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. I am in the paralyzed state. Okay. I'm sorry to hear about this. Do you want to talk about it? What do you mean by in a paralyzed state? Are you physically not able to move? Or is it a metaphor? Is it mental? Pumpkin Puff. My husband thought that I was crazy for running in the road. I was safe. It was the highlight of my whole week. Oh, fantastic. Right done. Hold that memory and play it every now and then. And it will remind you of your power. It will remind you that every day you can do this again, whenever the opportunity arises. But also, it's not just about turtles on the road. It's about you applying your power, just like I was talking to Dawn just before about the situation, uh, about men taking advantage of women in a domestic setup. And so your power is to realize that instead of worrying and being angry and sad at the road killers, you can do something about it. It applies to everything else. Whatever is disempowering to you, you can do something about it. It's for you to find out what it is, when you can do it, within what capacity, what limit, which ways. There's always some possibilities, and it's for you to find out where your power lies within that context. You've done it in the road care situation. You can transfer that system to all the other aspects of your life. Thank you for your heart. Genji, love hearing all the positivity. Dawn, I love bees, we need them. Yes, absolutely. Bees, butterfly, everything, even spiders. Now, finally, people are starting to be kind to spiders, thanks to social media. Until not long ago, everyone was horrible to them, trying to kill them all, and it's just unnecessary. Unless we we live in Australia and or in Thailand and we are in one of those places surrounded by them, then it's different. But yeah. Leo Luca Nucera, dear master, could you show me another time the art of breath in perfect meditation with the sound, please? Um, so I don't teach perfect meditation with the sound. I mean, yes and no. Yeah, there's a lot of meditation that you can learn. And what matters to me is that people learn the type of meditation that serves them, that they can access at this point in time. Um, the art of breath in perfect meditation. Let me try to understand. The, I think we tend to overcomplicate things. You see meditation like a martial art. You're trying to learn kung fu or something like that, learn how to levitate. And it's not like that. Meditation has got many different levels, but the journey of meditation is to do whatever you can do in this moment, whatever feels easy for you. And eventually, naturally, you will get there. If you see meditation as a skill that you want to develop, it's going to be a whole different thing. It's not going to be the same. Uh, because the whole point of meditation is to have is to not be under pressure, is to not do something so that you can get an outcome out of it. You want to do that thing because it's the right thing for you to do at this point in time, because you can do it naturally and easily. So, but if you have a specific type of meditation in mind, I'm sure that you can find tons of tutorials online. Um, the art of breath in perfect meditation. There's no such thing as perfect meditation. There's only meditation. If anything, perfect is the opposite of what meditation is trying to teach you. We don't want perfect. We just want to be. That's enough. We don't need to. We don't need to reach anything to attain any goal. We don't need to prove anything to anyone. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be as much as we can, and it is the effort, the intent that matters, not the result, not the outcome. And with the sound, so there's a lot of meditation that are sound based. Some people used some recordings, some music, some binaural beats, some sounds of nature. There's tons of things. Some spoken meditation, hypnosis tapes. Um, but also, we can't just focus on sounds that are happening outside of the building or in the building that we are in. So I could meditate now and focus on. I have a little fan that is on. Just focus on the fan. I can focus on the voice of the kids outside playing in the playground. I can focus on the sound that are happening in the street. The mixture of everything, and that can be my anchor. But yeah, meditation should be easy. Adam Lucas said hi. Hello. Adam, what's your take on Buddhist or Taoist practice and how that could be combined with therapy? Isn't a big part of therapy rooted in awareness and mindfulness? Yes, absolutely. So I agree with you, absolutely. A lot of the things that we are now considering useful in therapy are born from Buddhism and Taoism. Meditation, mindfulness, essentially. Um, but also reframing our perspective, um, giving a different meaning to things. And so, yes, the Eastern philosophies have a lot to be applauded for what it's bringing to modern psychology. However, I don't call myself a Taoist or a Buddhist because there are doctrines to follow, and so I appreciate them Like I appreciate a lot of other schools of thought, and I pick and mix whatever works for me, for my people, with my systems. Um, but there are a lot of there are things about not Taoism yet. I haven't met anything yet about Taoism that I dislike. But Buddhism, there are some things about Buddhism that I'm not so keen on. It's okay. Um, because again, we don't have to belong to a club. We don't have to be Buddhist, Christian, to be spiritualist. We don't have to be Taoist or Hindus or whatever. It's just about us learning about some sort of universal wisdom and creating our own system out of this. But yes, I agree with you. A lot of Taoism and Buddhism are used every day now in modern psychology and therapy. Um, Thank you for the little heart. And if anything, it's really the main things that make sense. Because even before neuroscience was a thing, before we had machines and scans that could tell us what was happening in the brain, Buddhists understand already the science behind it, the science about how meditation changes the state of yourself. Now we know that it literally changes the structure of your brain over time. So yeah, a lot of ancient wisdoms knew it all. Um, I believe that there was some sort of golden age when it comes to wisdom all over the planet. But sadly, there's been a moment of repression. And that's when a lot of white people decided to conquer other people and then eradicate their wisdom and replace it with some superstitions and fear and shame and all those things. Um, but it was meant to happen. We are always going like that, but in that direction. So I believe that now finally more people are more aware of some sort of connection between science and spirituality and how we can use some ancient wisdoms to upgrade our life now. And mindfulness and meditation is one of them. Dawn, message retracted. Pumpkin Puff. It was amazing. I felt so good. Plus, he or she was a cool turtle. Okay. Maybe it was a them. The turtle. Adam Lucas. Sometimes in my life it doesn't feel like my own. Like there are the ideas I would desire to live too, but my behavior acts in the opposite direction of where my goals would be. Deep self-conflict. Okay, we can talk about this if you want. There are many ways to approach it, but would you like to tell me more about yourself? A lot of us, we are often confused because there are the things that we believe we should have, we should do, we should achieve because of the conditioning, because of the limiting belief, because of the way society is trying to gaslight us into doing things and accepting things that are going against our natural flow. Um, but there could be other things. You want to tell me more about what you mean by your life? It doesn't feel like it's your own. Are you doing things that you enjoy? Or are you doing things because it seemed like a right idea at the time? Um, Tell me more about yourself, please, Adam, if you want. Pumpkin Puff. I just really wanted to share. The universe gave me something and I took action just like you told me to. Fantastic. Well done. Really, really, really. I really mean it. Well done. Uh, Great news. Thank you. Dawn, on point today. Thank you, Dawn. Genshi, is there a book you recommend for mindfulness? Yes, yes. There's a book called Mindfulness, like literally. Mindfulness is the title of the book. And basically, it's a very simple, clear, concise, and beautiful book written by Mark Williams and Danny Penman. And it's an introduction to meditation and mindfulness. And it's very great because the whole uh, the whole book is about teaching us why you should meditate, why you should be mindful. But then at the end of the book, there are recorded meditations. So if you buy the physical book, I don't know, maybe there's a link to some website you can listen to this recorded stuff, or maybe there's a CD. And if you download the audiobook now, you have, I think, 14 different recorded meditations. And basically, it's an 8-week meditation course. You just listen to those things every day, I think 6 days a week. And then eventually, if you can do this every day, 6 days a week, for 8 weeks, by week number 8, for sure, your brain would have changed already. It's that powerful. But it's very simply and beautifully written, and that's why it's so good. And so check it out. Mindfulness, a practical guide to finding peace in a frantic world. And it's written by Mark Williams and Danny Penman. And so you can absolutely. So for the person who was asking me before, maybe you see, there you go, synchronicity. There was one person who called me master. I think it was Luca Nero about the perfect meditation practice for sound, something like that. Then this could be the answer for you as well. Check out that book and download it. Again, I'm not going to repeat it anymore, but if you need to be reminded of anything that I said, that very live stream that I'm talking on today will be available to be replayed tomorrow on my channel. So there you go. Adam Lucas, the inability to delay gratification and to live up to your values, which requires consistent steps, but that journey always gets interrupted or neglected by both self-sabotage and self-neglect. Okay, so there's a lot of things that are possible there. You want to really understand that sometimes the things that we want are the things that we want. And sometimes the things that we want are not the things that we want. We will be conditioned so much that we believe that this is what we want. And I'm saying this because you say, I want to live up to my values. But what are those values? More often than not, the values that we think about are values that people have told us, this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be doing as a decent human being, like Stoics, for instance. And in reality, this is not necessarily true for all of us. The way that I see it is that we live in life, this life, to find out about our life, to find out who we are. So your life is an exploration, it's a journey. And so instead of having to do something that you feel you have to do, but you find it difficult, how about you just take it one step at a time and see where it takes you? Discover, have an open mind, see what happens. Now, having said that, there could be things that really matter to you and they are right for you to focus on. And so if you have any type of self-sabotage, we can talk about it. But as with any conversation, there are thousands of different scenarios. So I need to know more about yourself. At this point in time, it's very open and very vague. Let me try to say something based on just what you've written. The inability to delay gratification. So if you can't delay gratification, it's because there's a system about you that is preventing you from getting closer to that thing. So basically, there's a part of you that believes that that thing that you want to have is dangerous to you. So the self-sabotage is designed to keep you away from that thing that your subconscious mind thinks is dangerous. And so that's why you are obsessed with instant gratification. It's a trick of the mind. It was originally there to protect you. So what you want to do is to address why there's a part of you that believes that that thing that you want to achieve is dangerous. Maybe it's success. Maybe it's connecting with some people. Maybe it's showing your true self. Whatever that it is, there's a part of you that believes that that thing that you are trying so hard to do is not a good idea. So now it's going to hijack your attention and seek instant gratification to keep you away from getting too close to that thing. So again, there's a lot of different angles to look at it from. I'm just, again, doing my best with whatever words I'm given. And you say, I want to live up to my value, it requires consistent steps. No, again, no, it's not true. For you to get there, you may have to do it in that way, but there are different ways. And again, just like as I said before, maybe it's not the right direction. Maybe it's too much. Maybe you're trying to be someone that your parents or whoever you looked up to told you you should be in order to be enough. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways we can look at that conversation. Adam, long-term speaking. UTBR, hi Didi, thank you for your live stream, but I can't hear you very well. I've been asked already. I mean, I've asked a couple of times and people could hear me well. There was one person who couldn't hear me well. At the moment I told them that other people that I know, that I trust can hear me well, that person disappeared. So I'm not sure about this UTBR. I know that I'm not using my mic, so it may be not as low as I normally do. But I've been talking and engaging with a lot of people for a while, so I believe that if you can't hear me well, it's on your side. Maybe it has something to do with your device, or maybe your environment, or your Wi-Fi connection. Something is affecting that experience for you, but it's not on my side. And again, if I have more people that I know and that I trust who are telling me that they can't hear me, I will take an action on that. But if because I can't remember. I can't remember speaking with you. Maybe I have, maybe not. I have a very short memory. But the people that come regularly are telling me that it's okay. So I'm going to believe them at this point in time. Okay. I hope that you can fix that problem on your side. Adam, UTBR, try to increase your sound volume. Thank you very much. It's a great idea, Adam. Pumpkin Puff, it takes less energy to not kill bugs. Yes, true. I saw a quote that was a spider saying something along the lines of, I didn't realize it would be the end of my life just because I scared you. Yes, it's true. We tend to destroy things because we can, but also because we are scared of what we don't know, or because everyone does it. And in reality, this is the power of empathy and compassion. If we can put ourselves into other people's or other things' shoes, now we have a different perspective, and that may alter our next decision. People who are vegan, for instance, they put themselves into the shoes of the animals, and that's why they don't want to eat animals anymore, because because it's too much pain and suffering for them to feel responsible for. UTBR. Adam, did maybe it's my speakers. I can hear him better now that I put my headphones in. Fantastic. Thank you, UTBR. Well done. Yes. Solution. Pumpkin Puff. Most of them are just scared. While giants compared to bugs, I'm sure that is scary. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Dawn. My pet hate bed bugs. I see no point in them in Timber when they were in Paris. They affect your mental health. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, clean clean your bed so there's no bed bugs. I agree with that. Uh, appreciating life doesn't mean sleeping in a bed full of cockroaches and weird bugs. Don't. They are vampires. Okay. Genji. Wow, I didn't know meditation actually physically changed your brain. I should probably be meditating more. Yes, all of us, we should be doing this more. However, we're not all ready for it. It's a very specific skill, and we tend to only do new things if we have a need for it or if we're excited about it. And so at some point, it will happen. At some point, you'll be aligned with that concept, and it will be easy for you to do that thing, just like when it was easy for you to address all of your clothes in your chair or your cupboard. Everything comes at the right time, anyway. But yes, it's true that if you can find joy and excitement and peace in meditation, then that will get you to physically alter the structure of your brain. By structure, I mean neural pathways, the way you think, the way your brain functions. Um, so it's not just the neural pathways; it actually affects different segments of your brain. It's going to affect the part of your brain who are more reactive to be less reactive. It's going to affect the part. It's going to affect the part of your brain that are in charge of regulating your emotions to be better at it. Again, over time. Pumpkin Puff. Yes, the turtle, whatever we want to be. Genji. Oh, perfect. I found the book. Change in 8 weeks seems surprisingly short. Thank you. It's not short because you have to do it consistently. If you start 1 week and you do another time, another 4 weeks, and then you just wait the 8 weeks, nothing will happen. It is 8 weeks if and only if you practice it 6 days a week for 8 consecutive weeks. And that's why it seems easy, but you will find out that it's actually much harder to apply in practice because the idea seems easy enough, but then life comes in the way, we have different priorities, and we don't feel like it necessarily every day. But this is why you want to read the book first, because the whole book before you get to the meditation is precisely to teach you how it works and why you should be doing this, so it becomes easier for you then to do it. Very often, whatever that we do, if we understand how it works, then it's easier for us to do that thing because we understand the logic behind it, as opposed to just doing something because someone told us to do it. And also, if we understand the mechanism of something, the subconscious level, that thing will work better because the subconscious mind understands how it works, and we put everything, make everything easier for that thing to happen. Adam, I wouldn't mind at all, Didi. So I would say there's a different factors to it. But one example would be trying to go to the gym consistently, but I tend to feel anxiety, fear of embarrassment in crowds. So again, there are lots of reasons as to why this may be. Right? And in reality, what you share is quite common, but the level of intensity will be different. Um, and the causes of them will be different as well. And so if you want to do something, but you can't do it, instead of focusing on that thing that you want to add into your life, focus on the blocks. Why do you have a system that is making it harder on you to go to the gym? And that may be because there's a part of you who, there's a lot of reasons. I'm trying to, the most common reasons, well, I don't want to sound oversimplistic, but there's a lot of low self-esteem, low lack of confidence, but also there could be an attachment to who you are now. So that's what I was trying to articulate. Um, when we are unable to do something, it's because we don't want to be someone that we are not. So basically, we are attached to some things, and those things are important to us. Um, and so again, for me to really address you specifically, I would need to speak to you on one-to-one with visual and all. But when people are struggling with their weight, it's always because of some unhealed emotional wound, some unhealed trauma, and some associations with food and not going to the gym. So again, I'm struggling only because in my head suddenly I had like loads of possibilities and I don't know which one to share with you. Um, what I would say at this point in time is that if you want to go to the gym, you want to remind yourself why you want to go to the gym. Okay, let's make it simple. There are two drives as to why you want to go to the gym. To make it simple, you can either go to the gym because you love your body, because you love people, because you love training, because you love doing something good for your health, or because you hate your body, because you hate yourself. I believe that you want to go to the gym because you hate yourself. So that energy is going to be not very conclusive to anything. Um, and so my point here is that if it's really difficult for you to go to the gym, maybe don't go to the gym, do something else. Go outside, run, cycle, swim, climb, dance, whatever. Do other things. Find something that you enjoy, something that you can connect with positively, as opposed to trying to fix something bad by doing that. Because if you use the energy of punishment and self-loathing, that will explain why there's so much resistance. Um, so why do you need to go to the gym for? Could you tell me, please? If you can tell me that, then we can continue with that conversation. Genji, I understand that I will have to be aware to actually work on it, so it could take longer, but I will do my best. Okay. Aria Maf, OMG, I love you. Oh wow, thank you, Aria. Your advice is top tier. Okay, thank you, Aria. Adam, it might be related to my previous jobs in customer service roles, where you at times kind of get the worst of people and getting dismissed and bullied a lot growing up, therefore wounding self-worth. And essentially being emotionally neglected family and social circle wise. It seems that I learned to not avoid or trust in anything related to focusing on me and focus more on the world and others. Okay? So we have something here. You're focusing on the people instead of focusing on the thing that you're doing. If you genuinely enjoyed doing the gym, training at the gym, you'll go with that in mind. Like I love my training, uh, but sometimes I feel overwhelmed by people. But for me to get going, I just think about my training. I think about how I'm going to feel, about my program. I visualize what I'm going to do, and I love this, and that gets me there every time. And I enjoy my session. But if I just think about people, because I can be overwhelmed, I don't like the environment of gyms. More often than not, people are very, how can I say, insecure in gyms, especially guys. They're going to be very throwing weights, trying to be like Kong, and I hate this. Um, Especially even more so for the fact that it's just a bad attitude. If you go in professional gyms, some people are allowed because they are lifting heavy weight. But in commercial gyms where I'm going, it's just baby weight. It's super light, and yet they're having a terrible attitude as if they were Olympic champions. And so that kind of put me off. But the way I motivate myself is just by thinking about me doing my thing there. And eventually I meet some nice people with whom I can have a chat with. Not everyone is bad. But it's true that I still have some wounds myself. There are things that I find difficult. Yesterday, again, I was at the gym and I was wearing my earmuff all the time because of all that, I don't know, testosterone, all that insecurity. Guys trying to really show, and for me, it's just everything that I dislike. And so yeah, focus on what you're going to do. However, if you don't enjoy what you're going to do, then do something else. Do you feel like that with all situations or just the gym? Because if you're telling me that you have suffered from being emotionally neglected by your family and with your friends, then you're going to find it difficult, probably with all social interactions. So in that case, we're talking about something else. I think very often what we don't realize is that we're not talking about a problem. We're talking about the expression of a problem, the symptom of it. Right? And so not being able to go to the gym is only a symptom of something, and that could be born from so many different root causes. And so, um, do you have that same experience whenever you go outside? Do you have social anxiety? Jack Mac. Ahoy. Hello, Jack. Genji. Why do we as people try so hard to become something that we aren't? Because we've been told that what we are is not enough. From the younger age, we've been told that love was conditional. We are proud of you because you've done that. So that implies that we can only love you if you do that. So we learn to accept that we're not good enough, we're not worthy. We have to do things to deserve love. We have to pretend to be something else, to do something else. We have to win. We have to make them proud. All those things. That's why. Shouldn't it be more natural to just be our individual self? It should. But because our parents suffered from the same thing that we're suffering from, they have passed it on to us. This is what we call, it's a form of generational trauma. They don't mean it on purpose, but they pass on what they know. And if they have hurt, they get to pass on us their hurt, their limiting belief, their feeling of not enoughness. And they have this because of their parents and so on and so forth. Um, and we are here to stop the cycle of, of shame, the cycle of not enoughness. Techzilla, hello. Adam, seems that I would trust animals and spirits more than I would trust humans subconsciously. Oh, I get it. Now, a lot of us, we do that. We prefer the company of animals, aliens, and ghosts, rather or other neurodivergent people, rather than normies. I get it totally. My husband is like that. He likes people in certain capacity, but for him it was always easier, like for so many of us, to connect with animals and also ghosts, aliens, whatever, fairies. fear of being perceived and being vulnerable, and there's a need for belonging that I isolate from. Yes, what you're going through is quite human. Um, Now you may experience it at a grander level of intensity, volume, amplitude, but those are all characteristic traits of the spectrum of human experience and emotions. Mr. OCD, hello. Genji, if BPD physically alters our brain and meditation physically can meditation alter my brain back, or is that just how I am? You don't go back. We need to stop thinking that there is a state that is perfect, we should reach or go back to. We are constantly changing. We are constantly growing, evolving, adapting. And so it's not about going back, it's about making the most of what you have based on what you have available to you at the moment. You don't want to go back, because if you want to go back, you are creating an imaginary space that we never reach, because it's imaginary. So it's never going to be good enough anyway. Uh, Everything alters our brain in the sense that it's not that it changes how our brain should be. Our brain is a machine that is designed to adapt to whatever we go through. And so if you go through trauma, it will adapt to trauma. If you go through neglect, it will adapt to neglect. If you go through whatever, all throughout our life, in childhood and adulthood, it keeps adapting all the time. Now, the first 7 years of our life, we're going to absorb more information from the outside because our brain is different. Then we are on a constant state of hypnosis. The first 7 years of our life, we're on a theta waves mode, and whatever is happening around us is absorbed literally into ourselves, so that it creates our map of the world as an adult. But the way our brain is going to adapt and evolve keeps going all throughout our lives. And so even if you don't have a trauma at a younger age, if we have a trauma as an adult, if you have CPTSD abuse over a long period of time as an adult, our brain will also adapt to that. And so it will keep changing. But the good news is that it goes both sides. It can adapt in order to create more protection for you that are the cause of our problems, or it can adapt to let go of the need for protection. And this is what healing is about. And so don't think about going back or how do you call it? Um, Altering your brain. Your brain is always altered by everything. It's constantly changing. So understanding this is actually very empowering, because then you can learn how to create systems that will get your brain to adapt in a better way for you over time. That's it. Does it make sense, Genji? Adam, you know when you can articulate problems really well, but struggle to actually solve them? It's kind of like that as well. It's different things. So articulating is a skill. Solving, taking action is another one. So I understand, I agree that it's two different things that have nothing to do with one another. Understanding something is happening here. Doing something requires for your subconscious mind to allow you to do that thing. Right? Again, the conscious mind here is the mind that knows. The mind that allows is the subconscious mind. So this is why there's a discrepancy between articulating a problem and solving them. You may be able to see and understand everything, but not be able to do anything about it, because your subconscious mind is preventing you to do anything about it, because it feels that it's dangerous, perhaps. Pumpkin Puff, how do you go from hating your body to loving it? I think I talked about it. There's a video that I've done on YouTube, how to love yourself. Check it out. Let me go there. If you go on my page, I will talk about it. But just so you know, there's a video that exists already. How to love yourself, self-love 101. It's a video that I put out 5 months ago. It's 7 minutes. So how do you love yourself? How do you love your body? Here specifically, but stop hating it. So there's a whole process, and we're all vastly different. But in order for you to love something, you need to stop hating it. You can't force yourself to love something. But you can find out, why do you hate your body? And then when you realize that the reasons why you hate your body is because some people in the past hated their body or slash and your body. And so now it has become your program. We tend to hate ourselves because we've been told that you are grotesque, you look ridiculous, you look disgusting. Um, Maybe our parents put us down, or maybe they put themselves down and we observe them doing this, and now we have acquired that belief from their behavior. Kids learn by observation, and so even if the parent tells us, "Oh, you're beautiful, you're fine, you're perfect," but then one day we catch them in front of the mirror going, "Oh, I look rubbish." Now we're going to download that. We're going to become them. We're going to think, there's something wrong about me. I can't be loved, I can't be accepted because of the way I look. And now we can start to hate ourselves. Why can't I be different? Why can't I be good looking, slim, thin, fit, or whatever, so that people love me? And so in order for you to love your body, you must learn how to stop hating it. So again, it's different for all of us. If it's really bad, therapy, hypnotherapy can really, really help you. But if you want to do it on your own, how do you love your body? By learning how to appreciate any type of bodies. Look at people and forget about the canons of beauty in fashion or magazines or social media, and realize that we can all be beautiful in our own ways. And as you do that about others, you'll be able to do this on you as well. Look at people who are disabled. Look at people who have different shade. It's about us unlearning the toxicity of those negative beliefs. Heroin chic. In order to be beautiful, you have to be skinny. And it's just rubbish. Um, Go back, educate yourself. Go back through cultures and civilizations and realize that there was a time when men and women were considered beautiful when they were more on the voluptuous side. And realize that now some people find muscly women very beautiful, and some of them are beautiful as well. Why not? I find beautiful women that are strong also very beautiful. I find women who are feminine very beautiful. I find women who are very masculine very beautiful. And it's the same thing with men. And it's the same thing with non-binary. I find people who have different shape. I find people who had accidents, who don't have legs, who have facial deformation. There's the beauty in them. If you can learn to accept and appreciate everyone's difference and beauty instead of judging them, eventually you will expand your understanding of beauty. And you will be able to eventually transfer it into your own mirror, your own reflection. You realize, you know what? Okay, maybe I have a dead bod, maybe I have some birthmarks, maybe I have whatever, it doesn't matter. We are all vastly different, and what we see on Instagram and social media and television and Hollywood, it's all Disney. It's just toxic because we believe that we must reach those standards in order to be enough, and we're all enough in our own ways. And now, thankfully, thanks to the wokes, thank you, woke people, we're seeing more diversity on television, Netflix. We're seeing more inclusion in advertisement, and this is so important because now the new generations are realizing, there are also different looks and they're all good. I saw an ad yesterday where there was a kid with Down syndrome, beautiful kid, and now we don't even highlight it anymore. It's part of the things that we are showing on televisions, and it's beautiful because in my generation, when I was younger, you would never see that. Anyone who looked disabled or different, they were mocked, laughed at. And now we are showing their beauty. If you go on Netflix, there is a dating show, Love on the Spectrum and Love with Down syndrome. And I love that. People are seeing different lifestyle, different things. You have reality shows about people who are short people, and so on and so forth. It's about realizing that there's no such thing as normality, and we are all beautiful in our own way, but we need to expand that. Now, the new generation gets it. TikTok. When I discovered TikTok a few years ago, the first thing that I loved about it was how there are so many people who have some physical differences with a lot of followers, supporting them, not being nasty. There will always be some people who are hurt, who are toxic, but the vast majority of people really showing their humanity and compassion and appreciating the beauty of everyone. And so maybe that's the way you want to address yourself. Realize that the judgment that you have about yourself are judgment that you have inherited from your parents, from the society they grew up in. And you can change this by learning how to appreciate everyone. Thank you for your heart. Does it help? Pumpkin puff. Adam Lucas, very true. Haha. Okay. Clemens, what if I'm always anxious because of my upbringing with a narcissistic mother? What can I do to relax? You don't want to relax, you want to heal. You don't have to live with it. If you can't do anything about it uh, but live with that, then you can practice mindfulness. You can practice a lot of somatic exercises that will make you feel better about yourself. But tons of things that you can do. But here you're telling me about anxiety, upbringing with a narcissistic mother. We're talking about trauma. You want to address the CPTSD. You want to address the limiting belief that you have about yourself because of that upbringing with your narcissistic mother. Right? You don't want to just relax. You want to fix this. You want to change this. You want to heal this. It's possible, right? Now, if you want to give me a very specific situation, I can give you some systems that could help you. But what I want to really insist on, based on your comment here, is that if you are aware that you have anxiety because of a narcissistic mother, you don't want to take it for granted and accept it and think, there's nothing I can do about it. I have to relax. I have to live with it. Because it's not true. You can heal. Genji, toxic masculinity at the gym is a massive problem. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And again, I realize that when they trigger me is because I have my own insecurities. I still have some remnants of my own insecurity. I'm working on this still. Um, when I train, I lift a lot of heavy weight, but I always do my best. And now it's natural to do it in a way that is not threatening, that is not loud. So because of that, everyone wants to be my friend because I make it look easy, and it's relatively easy for me as well. People are surprised. The sort of weight that I do will require a lot of grunting, and I don't. I'm like the little curtsy at the end, like the queen. If I'm wondering what the heck just happened. um, but if I ever get triggered, still, it's still because there's some remnants of my own old past insecurities. I'm like, oh, don't be like that. Because I hate the fact that some people are going to make other people feel uncomfortable. I know that a lot of people are being, um, I think, intimidated by those people. And so I look at them, and generally speaking, when I start to train, many of them calm down because in my gym, it's a very local general gym. So there's no one that is really specifically strong. It's not like an athlete or sports gym. So there, I'm like one, if not the strongest guy there. And so one of the way I do it, I lift heavy stuff and I put it back very quietly, and then I smile and I talk to people, and I don't even need to breathe heavy. When people see that, they realize, okay, now I'm looking like an idiot, slamming baby weight on the floor and jumping over the place, thinking that it's very special when it's not. I remember one time, many years ago, I was so annoyed at someone who was slamming its weight, even though there was really no need for that. But I took my coffee. I had a little stirrer in my coffee from some coffee shop, and it's very small, made of plastic. And I took it and I slammed it. I was like, ah! I threw that, I don't know, 1 gram plastic thing on the floor. And it's just a stupid thing that I did. But it was my way to exercise my frustration, and that made an effect. The guy just went away and realized how silly he looked like and how unnecessary it was. Now I don't do this anymore. I'm learning how to be kinder, more compassionate. But yeah, um, toxic masculinity in the gym is very hard not to see because again we live in a patriarchal system that is teaching guys to be strong, to be virile, to be alpha, and there's no need for that. Genji, I didn't realize I typed that so weird. Sorry. Glad you understood what I meant though. I have learned how to read between the lines. Clemens, at Pumpkin, visit hospital, you will love your body more. Okay, maybe that's a good idea. But maybe you don't need to prey on people's misery and just, yeah. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Genji, you are telling me that my brain will alter anyways. Yes, your brain is alive, it's constantly changing. Your whole body, your skin, your organs, your whole self is regenerating every whatever amount of month. All throughout our life, we are recreating ourselves all the time. This is what people don't realize. This is why and how we can heal anything about ourselves if we can um, investigate on what is the habit that is causing that problem in my life. Because your whole organs, your skin, your brain, everything, your eyes, tissues, everything rebuild and the cells regenerate themselves all the time. They get slower as we get older, but it's still happening. And so it's the same with your brain. Genji, I just need to work on accepting that I am on a journey and I'm working on myself. Okay? So remind yourself of this. You're on a journey. You are the journey, literally. I think that could be one of the best way to deal with everything. Yeah. If we realize that we're constantly changing and learning and getting better, even through the bad stuff, um, then things become easier. As opposed to believing that we must arrive to a certain state, that we must reach a certain ideal of life. Um, our whole life is only about one thing: exploring it. It's about the journey and becoming better at exploring it. Clements, I had a psychotic episode, auditory hallucinations, for a year about a man. Should I contact him because he was important for my subconscious? No, no, because it's got nothing to do with him. What you want to do is to seek some professional help and find out why that voice is still stuck in your head. Don't contact him. That will be unfair on him. You have your own things to deal with. He has his own life to live. Whatever problems that you have, you can deal with it without getting him involved in your life. The voice of that guy is not because of him. It's because of your condition. It's because of the trauma. It's because the way your brain has evolved because of whatever happened to you. It's not because of him. And if it was not him, it would be someone else. It would be something else. Right? Um, Adam, could hypersexuality or obsession with sex, in a sense, often could be an indicator of using it as a form of coping mechanism or escape? Yes. It can also be a high libido. So how would we know the difference? So it depends. We don't know just like that. We know. I would know if you talked to me. If you had a one-to-one with me, I could see you, and we can have an understanding of history. I could ask you some specific questions. That's how we know. Okay. But very often, hypersexuality is indeed, again, a mechanism that is born for a reason. So we want to find out what is the reason. Um, there's a lot of associations connected to that. Anything to do with sex is quite intense. So if you have suffered from any sort of grooming or abuse in childhood, that would create some associations. Uh, and yeah, um, I'm trying to say things without saying other things um, because it's a delicate subject. So, so I'm not sure what you mean by that, but yes, it can be a coping mechanism, but it can also be the reason why some of us are hypersexual. Um, can be indeed a stress reliever. It can be something that helps us get our level of dopamine in, but also um, this is another big broad topic. You know what? Tell me more about yourself if you don't mind, or require a discovery call with me if you want to talk about this. Um, I want to give you something based on what you said. Could hypersexuality or obsession with sex, in a sense, often could be an indicator of using it as a form of coping mechanism or escape? It can also be high libido. How would we know the difference between what and what? This is what I don't understand. What is the dichotomy here? Whatever that we do is always born from an adaptation, right? So I hope that this answers your question. Now, what it is depends on X, Y, Z. Student 2K, when certain words are used to describe me, it can make me feel upset. and confused and red-faced in the situation. How do I stay composed in the situation? You don't. You learn how to express yourself. You learn how to feel and to share how you feel. And then eventually what you want to do is to work on yourself so that you don't get triggered anymore. When you get triggered in the moment, this is what happens. It's your program. You're meant to feel like that, and you don't want to repress that. If people are triggering you by saying certain words, tell them about yourself and get them to understand why you are reacting like that. Don't learn how to repress yourself. Learn how to address the trigger. You do this again through self-awareness, through self-reflection, through therapy, through all those things and more. But if someone is saying something to you, the best thing is to just be yourself and be honest. Tell them, you know what, that makes me feel like that because X, Y, Z. And you feel much better about yourself. Otherwise, you're going to reinforce a mask, a pretense you're going to be someone else, and that creates a lot of problems more and more so throughout your life. What you want to do is to find a way to change the meaning of these words, is to change the meaning of that conversation. But you can't do this in the moment. You can only do this before or after that moment. When we react, whichever way we react in the moment is our program, is how we are meant to react. Instead of trying to stay composed, yes, this is it. Address the triggers. Clements at Pumpkin, learn to appreciate the functionality of your body and be grateful. Mr. OCD, yes, some cultures saw black teeth as a thing of beauty. Yes, absolutely. Anything goes. In many tribes, you have some ornament, the giraffe woman with the long neck, all those things. Anything goes. Beauty is super subjective. Christine, wow, so well said. Thank you, Christine. Adam Lucas, it might be fair to say that a lot of corporations and media try to define to you what success should be, what beauty should be, what are winners and losers, but it's likely societal programming. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Everything is a social programming. Everything that we believe is because of the environment we grew up in, either directly or indirectly. So basically, the beliefs that we have are passed on by our parents. But our parents pass on those beliefs because of their parents and the society that we grew up in. And furthermore, as we grow up in our society, we will keep on being influenced by it every day. So yes, absolutely. Christine, at Pumpkin Puff, I love your name. Adam, the more the psyche is in conflict of itself, the easier it is to control and maintain profit from hijacking humans' own biology against them. Yes, absolutely. The less awareness we have, the less access we have to our critical mind, the easier it is for the people in charge to manipulate our emotional reactions, to control us, to emotionally blackmail us, to get us to do anything, to think anything, because we understand psychology. Absolutely. Water Lily, I think people judge their own bodies harsher than other people do. I try to look at my body with kindness. Yes, very, very true. Very, very good. Absolutely. We tend to be harder on ourselves than we are with others. However, some of us were as hard with everyone, like I was. I was hard on myself. I was hard on everyone. I was a bitch. Pardon my French. I really was judging everyone all the time because this is how I grew up. I've been judged, and I've been observing people judging others all the time. So I ended up doing this as my normality. Why are they so horrible? Why are they so ugly? What's wrong with their face? Why are they so fat? Ah, look at them. That guy should train his legs or whatever. That person is so stupid and so on and so forth. I would judge everyone because I was constantly judging myself. Because that's all that I knew. Because everyone around me does that. And it's very important to realize that this is a thing. We don't have to be like that. We do this because everyone does it, but we can do better than that. We can realize that we can change our own program, and that if we can do this, that's how we change society, one person at a time. Pumpkin Puff, yes, that was very helpful. A lot of society does shove looking a certain way in everyone's face, but you are right, now we're seeing a wider range of sizes and shapes. Yes, absolutely. In the past, and it's still happening now, but not as much, thanks to social media. But in the past, anyone that would be different would be thrown rocks at, like mocked, belittled, laughed at. But again, thanks to social media, you see some people who are being attacked because of their looks, but suddenly there's a huge wave of people defending them, telling them, don't listen to them, you're beautiful, you're fine. They're just a bunch of idiots. And this is beautiful to witness. Clemens, how do I heal from the trauma of my narcissistic mother? She was never really supportive and loving for long. She was pretty controlling and hateful. You want to change the belief that you have about yourself that were born from the things that she told you about yourself. So if you had a narcissistic mother, I would highly recommend you to seek professional help. If you're not ready for that, or if you don't have access to it, address your belief. Find out what belief that you have about yourself because of her, and then upgrade this belief. But again, trauma can mean many things. What are the expression of trauma that you're suffering the most from? If you can tell me that, I can help you bespokingly. Pumpkin Puff, I just need to try to see the beauty in everything. Yes, you need to learn how to uncover the beauty in everything. There's beauty in everything. There's also ugliness in everything. It's about training which side of the things you want to highlight. Pumpkin Puff, it seems so easy to look at myself and judge everything. Of course it is, because that's what you've been doing up to this point, so that's your normality. You have reinforced that skill over time. You have trained your brain to be better at doing this. But it's just a habit, and there's not a single habit in your life that you can't upgrade by choosing a better new habit and eventually reinforce it through repetition and patience. Adam, could an inferiority complex be genetic or passed on from parents or friends? It's both. Everything about us is both. There's an aspect of genetics and there's an aspect of environment. So genetics is where you start at, and environment is how the outside will exacerbate your starting point. And so we need both. Everything is always both. There was a whole old conversation in the past. Is it more nature or nurture? It's always both. The dichotomy was the problem, the idea that it has to be this or that. And this is so narrow-minded. In reality, we all have some propensity from our genetics. And then our environment is going to reinforce, exacerbate, or pass on those traits of ourselves. Depending on our environment, we can see evolve differently. Yeah. So inferiority complex would start, generally speaking, with some propensity for that. If it's a complex, if it's really, really bad. Now, even if genetically you don't have that, you can acquire it. It's possible. Again, nothing is just on that. But I believe that it takes both always. Even if some events in your life may get you to get there, I believe that here's how it goes. If someone criticizes the way you look, for example, there are many ways to react to that. Some people may say, I don't care what you say, you're wrong. Some people may say, maybe you're right, and now I'm secure. So people may say, but it's not genetics, it's only the environment, it's the confrontation in that moment. But it's not true. If we are questioning it, it's because we have learned that behavior from the observation of our parents. How they dealt with the sort of situation has become us. And so again, some people will say, yes, but this is upbringing, it's environment, it's not genetics. But I believe that if our parents showed us this behavior, it means that they had that capacity in them, which means that we have inherited in some capacity of that genetics, even our life started, even before life started. I hope it makes sense. Adam, it's so important to not repress yourself like with your emotions and needs for sure. That's a lesson I keep learning again and again. It's a journey, it takes time. Bogdan Mania, you're the best man, love your energy. Thank you so much, Bogdan. Student 2K, Most of the time, they're not trying to trigger me. It's just words from my past that was used negatively, and now my mind assumes the bad meaning when it's used. It throws me off and takes a minute to bounce back. You need to work on yourself. You have a lot of baggage to work on yourself. At the moment, your filters that are going to interpret what people say is negativity biased. And so, yeah, I don't know where to get started. I will need to know you better, but you want to address your belief. You want to address the reasons as to why there's a part of you that is focusing on the bad stuff. They said that, it must mean that. What they said is because of me, they're attacking me, when it could be so many other things. You have a bias that is focused on negativity and self-hatred. And you want to find out why you have that bias in the first place. So yes, now what to talk about is quite, again, not uncommon, although everyone's experience of it will be different. There are vast differences in how we're going to experience this. But you want to learn how to change the meaning of what is said. How, it depends. I don't know you yet. You can do it just from here if you're not carrying trauma inside of you. Do you want to tell me more about yourself, student 2K? Pumpkin Puff, it's very true that it's a generational curse. If you don't deal with something, then your children will have to deal with it. Yes. Adam, at Bogdan, Didi is the most holistic person I might have seen alone. He doesn't believe in black and white thinking or judgment, or tells you what to think or live by, but it's rare to find nowadays. Thank you so much, Adam. Adam, it reminds me of non-dual realizations and meditations. Okay, so I'm not sure what you mean by non-dual realizations. So I need to Google it. Non-dual realization. The direct experiential recognition that the separation between subject, the observer, and the object, the observed, is an illusion. Okay, no, I get it. Yes, so this is a very strong element of the way I talk about things. To heal, to expand our level of awareness, we must indeed stop thinking in black and white. Adam Lucias, that I have seen online. Thank you, Adam. Pumpkin Puff, you can just decide that you want to see things a certain way, and it will happen. Aren't you sort of lying to yourself until you can actually see the good in things first? No, because your whole life is an illusion. Whatever you see is what your brain has decided to show for you. So we don't realize this, but there's no such thing as reality. There's no such thing as one universal truth in reality. There's only ever the reality that our brain creates for us, based on the filters that we have because of our upbringing and belief system. That's it. There's no such thing as reality. There's not a single experience. There's not one reality that everyone will experience at the same time. It's impossible. And the best way to realize this is to go in a crowd, go in a public place where there's a lot of people. And I want you to imagine everyone with a bubble in their head. And everyone is living in that bubble and seeing through the bubble. And there's not a single person that experiences the same reality as anyone else in that crowd or in the whole world. And so now there's not so you're already lying to yourself to start with. Whatever you're experiencing is a lie. When you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough. I am stupid. I'm ugly. I don't deserve love or success." You're already lying to yourself. So basically, you want to learn how to lie in a better way. There's a book from Marisa Peer, my mentor. I think she wrote a book like that. Tell yourself a better lie. You are lying to yourself every day. We all do this. And when we say that we're lying, it's because most of the things that we tell ourselves are disempowering. So you can actually find ways to see the positive, and then when you see it, that will become your reality. That's how you create your reality. Everything has two sides. Every single thing, you can look at it from two perspectives. You can either look at things from a perspective that makes you feel a little bit better about yourself, or from a perspective that makes you feel a little bit worse about yourself. Everything. Now, sometimes We don't like that idea because both sides are not good enough. It's not enough. It's not satisfying enough. So we dismiss that. But in reality, there are always two sides to everything. There's a side that you can look at that makes you feel a bit better about yourself. It's for you to learn how to find it. And as you do that, you develop that skill. You teach your brain how to have a new skill, which is to be a detective and to find out and to showcase and highlight the good stuff. And as you become more able to do that, that's how you become positive, optimistic, happier, grateful. Genji. Oh, interesting. So people's ability to take accountability is also from their parents. There's no accountability. This is a whole different conversation. I don't believe in taking accountability. We all do whatever what we can based on our nervous system, based on our trauma, based on the protection mechanisms that are subconscious that we have put into place. Taking accountability implies that some people are choosing not to change, are choosing not to take accountability, and it's not true. If people are coming across as such, it's because there's a part of them that is not able to do that. There's a part of them that is terrified of exposing themselves. So they can't accept that they are wrong, that they said something wrong. It's not that they don't want to, it's that they cannot because of trauma. So we need to stop judging people and assuming that people do things on purpose. We are all doing our best, regardless of how we started in life, or more so based on how we started our life. Like, but just to meet you with your question, Genji, if some people are showing an inability to show vulnerability, that would be also, yes, highly also to do with the fact that their parents probably didn't show vulnerability or repressed it or punished it. So yes, there is that as well. Student, how does one relieve themselves from trauma and baggage? Therapy, therapy, or self-development, self-awareness, self-discovery journey. It's a journey. So it's not something, it's not like, what is the one thing that I can get, that I can buy, that I can do to change my life? It's about you getting started on your own journey of learning what will work for you at this point in time and unfolding the truth about you and your potential. Yeah. Adam, how do you balance ego? What might lead others to become blinded by arrogance? So for this to happen, for us to have that conversation, we need to agree the definition. How do you balance ego? We don't balance ego. I don't know how you define ego. Like, to me, ego is not a thing, it's not an entity. Ego is no more or less than a perspective. Whenever you experience life from the perspective of you, of the self, of I, of the human being, in that moment the ego is created. There's you, and there's the rest of you that is not you. And that's the separation that we talked about earlier. That's the first stage of separation. And so we don't balance the ego. We either experience from the ego or from different perspective. Now, what you want to do is not balance the ego. What you want to do is to maybe change the program of the ego, right? The person that you are, the human being that you are, is down to the belief that you have about yourself. So if you want to change that perspective, you want to address those beliefs. That's it. What might lead others to become blinded by arrogance? Again, arrogance is just something that we judge. Some people are arrogant for all sorts of reasons. There are millions of reasons. But arrogance is not always born from a place of malice. A lot of us, we suffer from all sorts of conditions that get us to come across as arrogant. If you have borderline personality disorder, for instance, or narcissistic personality disorder, we're going to have something called grandiosity. And it's part of our psyche because of our condition. We have to big ourselves up. It's coming from a place of pain and insecurity. And so arrogance is very often a system that is covering insecurity. I'm trying to show a different perspective. I don't want people to keep reiterating the same belief about good or bad. that person has a good character, that person has a bad character. It's not like that. You want to understand why. And so we don't get blinded by arrogance. We are arrogant because there's a part of us that believes that being arrogant will keep us safe from something. I hope it makes sense. Unless I missed something. Now, if you want to maybe rephrase what you said in a way that I can understand better. At this point in time, that's all I get from it. Pumpkin Puff, I thought we were more set in stones as people, I guess. No, we're not. Nothing is set in stones. Everything in the universe is constantly moving and changing and fluctuating. Everything. Like literally everything. Nothing is set in stone. Even stones are not set in stones. Pumpkin Puff, it seems like it's so hard to change as people, especially as pessimistic people. It's only hard because you haven't changed yet. Once you have changed, you realize, that's it, I'm there. Easy. Right? You're experiencing what it is to be on that side of the transformation. So it's normal for you to feel like that. And again, if you go back to the start of my video, I'm talking about change and why some people say that things are hard. So if you have a chance, for anyone who is new here, I go live on YouTube every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time. And I always leave my live streams on my channel. So it takes typically a day for YouTube to fully upload my live streams. But what this means is that if you enjoyed anything about the video, tomorrow you'll be able to replay it if you want to. And so for you, Pumpkin Puff, at the start of the video, I talk about a script that I've written about this precisely, if you want to check it out. And the title of it is called Everything is Hard Until It Gets Easier. It's a system to understand the process of change and how it's only hard because you're looking at the hard bit, but everything becomes easier. So if you looked at the easier bit, you realize, it's not hard. It's just a process. And you just need to apply the system one step at a time until it becomes easier. Genji, that's a very good point. Thank you, Genji. Mr. OCD, Didi, I found out the other day that the brain is the most cholesterol-rich thing in the human body. I thought all this hassle from a lump of cholesterol. Okay, fair enough. There's such thing as good fat. Genji, I shouldn't assume people need to take accountability. It seems that some people hurt others and that they don't care. It's not that no one don't care. I mean, there's a portion of the population who don't care. This is true. Some people are pathologically lacking of empathy. Some people who suffer from antisocial personality disorder, the sociopath, the Machiavellian, the psychopath, the narcissist, all these people, they have an inability to feel. And so they are the ones who hurt others and they don't care. But they are the exception. The vast majority of us, we don't do this because we don't care. We do this because we have a system that is protecting us, that comes across as if we didn't care. Others apologize and immediately change the action. I believe actions, not words. Because some people can. Some people can apologize. Some people don't know. And some people cannot apologize. For some people, it's impossible to apologize. For some people, it's impossible to be vulnerable. For some people, it's impossible to accept that they said or that they've done something wrong. It's just not possible because for them, it's synonym of hurt, punishment, trauma. This is what people don't realize. We have to stop telling people to take accountability. We want to understand them. We want to find out who lacks empathy or not, and then deal with them accordingly. So people who don't have empathy, we want to stop spending time with them, let the universe do its job, wish them the best, but there's nothing that we can do for them because there's no human connection. But for everyone else, which is the vast majority of us, we can understand why they're like that. We can help them instead of judging them and reinforcing the illusion of separation. Pumpkin Puff, that's true. There are those magical walking stones. I can't remember what I said about this. Adam, thank you very much, Didi. Oh, thank you, Adam. Pumpkin Puff, perfect. I will check that out. Genji, so understand the reason, but we also can't understand everything. No, we can learn how to understand most things, but we don't have. I don't understand what you mean by that. We don't have to understand everything. What we want to do, however, is to replace judgment with understanding. If you are judging something, it's because you are being mentally lazy. You're choosing the easy cop out. I don't understand something, so I know what system I'm going to use. It's because they're bad. It's because they're inferior. It's because I'm better than them. We must punish them. We must burn them at the stake. We must drown them like witches in the past. And this is the system. When we don't understand something, the system that gives us the illusion of control, the illusion of safety, the illusion of understanding is judging and blaming others. So whatever happens, we want to replace judging with understanding. Now, on a different topic, different conversation, we don't have to understand everything either. We want to understand what we are judging, I think, because when we're judging something, we're projecting some of our own repressed shame. So by addressing what we're judging, we're actually addressing ourselves. We're addressing our shadow parts. Just 1 second, please. Ah. Pumpkin Puff, you said that nothing stays the same, even stones. Ah, yes. There are stones somewhere that are extremely heavy and they move on their own. All right, I didn't realize that stones that move on their own. Okay, I'm sure that they exist. Anything happens in this crazy world. So yes, everything changes. If stones seems like they are not changing, it's only because we're looking at it from the perspective of what we know. But there's so much more than what we know. There's so much more than what we see. A lot of things that we see now didn't exist zillions of years in the past and will not exist zillions of years in the future either. Things are always changing. But if we forget this, we believe that we're the center of the universe. We believe that what we know is all that there is, and we're limited by that illusion. Okay, it's 2 minutes past 8. Is there any last comment that you would like to ask me before I go? I'm feeling generous today. Not in a rush. Genji, thank you, Didi, for your advice. I will check out that book and I hope you have a great evening. Okay, so that's telling me to go. Okay, guys, in that case, I will go. Thank you for watching until the end. For those who are new again, I come live on YouTube every Wednesdays and every Fridays at this point in time from 6 p.m. UK time up till 8 if it's busy like it was today. And also, I post videos on YouTube and TikTok every day. If you have any things you'd like me to address, ask me. And finally, if you need more details about me as a therapist and coach, there is a link to my website on my profile. I think bio. I should. I keep on saying this. I should check at some point, but I'm pretty much sure there is. And so we have Water Lily. I appreciate you. Bye bye. Thank you. Mr. OCD, peace out, Didi. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all. I wish you a great day or night, wherever that you are in the world. And hopefully, I'll see you on my next live stream Friday. If not, whenever else. Let's do this. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Love you. Take care. Be kind to yourself.